What can you say as far as Josh, how he came out of that game?
Physically?
Yeah.
He's roughed up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he'll be okay to go this week. He's a tough kid. I was impressed by the way he came back in, and fought through some obvious pain and delivered a pretty good performance. He's like everybody else. There's things that he'd love to have back and do over, but I think he showed some grit and some toughness, and I think his teammates appreciate that.
Did he talk his way back in at all? Was that part of it? Did he convince?
Yeah, I mean, he was hurting, and we gave him a couple series to see if he could work through it, and he was struggling, and then I just think that he's one of those young men that's so competitive that he kind of willed himself into a situation where he tried to mentally overcome the pain that he was feeling, and he did, and that's what great competitors do. So, and then late in the game, he took a shot, and we just couldn't get him back in after that.
With him banged up, does Mike get more reps throughout the week just to
It'll
ease his
depend.
load and prepare him just in case?
It'll depend on Josh's availability tomorrow and Wednesday, really. How much he can do. If he can, if he looks like he's going to be fine for Saturday, then we'll practice like we always do, which Mike does get reps. So when you're a backup, you don't quite get as many reps. That's just the way it is. But Mike does get reps, and Mike's been here, and he's an experienced guy, and he's very smart, and he pays attention in meetings, and so I don't necessarily worry about the mental aspect of it for Mike. It's always a little different when you do finally get on the field, though.
Is there a game plan to get improvement there?
Yeah, I mean, there always is. It's just, we're trying everything that we can. It's an experienced group. We look at everything very critically, very hard. We always start with ourselves, and are we, number one, are we emphasizing the right things? Are we conceptually doing it right? Are we practicing? Do we have the right people in there? Are we teaching it the right way? It's a continual quest to try to improve in everything. And right now, we're just substandard in a lot of ways in the run game. That's not a statement that's going to astound people. We all know that. So we're committed to getting it better, and I think our players are as well. And I think we all have a pretty good feeling for what the issues are, and having an idea for what the issues are and wanting to improve it is different than we've got to do it. We've got to do it.
What do you see as those issues?
Well, I think there's a lot of them. I mean, it's I say this a lot about pass rush or pass coverage or pass protection or run game. It's a function of all 11, and really it's more than all 11. It's a function of all of us, coaches, starting with me, and players, making sure that we're doing the right things all the time, making sure that in practice we're giving the proper looks to our players so that they get the repetitions they need to be able to react quickly in games. It's the players taking the coaching and applying it. It's extra study. It's a will to do it. So it's being on the same page on every single play, not having a one-person breakdown here and a one-person breakdown there. And a lot of times, at least in my experience through the years, when you're struggling in one area, it's because you're having that continual one person here, one person there breakdown. And every time, no, I shouldn't say every time, but when I think back to my career at times when there have been struggles in a particular part of a game, pass rush, pass defense, run defense, whatever it may be, it's because of that. And so it's finding consistency, and it's hard to find that. And once you get it and you start riding that wave again, you feel good about it. But right now, we don't feel good about it, and we've got to find a way to feel good about it.
You expect to be at full strength at running back this
I would
week?
hope so, yeah. I think it's early to tell, but hopefully we'll be at full strength.
Are those one-person breakdowns coming from the same group at the same, or continually, or do they kind of jump around as?
Well, they're
weeks
jumping
on?
around. That's the problem. Is you got 11 guys that have to do it right every play, and and it's hard to ever find a play in football where everyone does it right. It's just hard. I mean, those guys over there, they're trying to beat you. They're scheming you up too, but when it's not exactly right, someone's got to be able to make a play. And for some reason, we've just had some troubles doing that. So greater attention to detail, greater focus, being more demanding and accountable, all of us, those are the things that should help us.
Tack and Jaleel, what's their status?
I believe they're both going to be fine. Yeah, I believe they're both fine, and both were out there running this morning. So,
Washington State's ran the ball a lot more this year. Does that catch you off guard at all, or?
no, I think that this guy's smart and he's had success, offensively, and I'm talking about Coach Leach, and you have to be able to run the ball a little bit when you want to throw it. It's like I said, it's just you have to be able to make people respect the run in order to open things up in the pass game. So it doesn't surprise us. It's this is just not like he's a run and shoot guy where there's very few runs. I mean, they do run the ball, they count the box, and if the run's there, then the quarterback is smart. Falk's a smart guy, and he executes a run. So, but they do like to throw it. We do know they like to throw it.
They bounced back pretty well since those first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
What have they done better, differently since those first 2 games?
Executed, I mean, really, it just comes down to I think executing what the expectations of the players are. Doing it right more often than you do it wrong, having a level of consistency that allows you to have success. That's what I see them doing. They haven't changed schematically. They just haven't. I know he challenged his players pretty hard. It was pretty harsh, and obviously they responded to it.
Do you do anything different going to play at Pullman? Is there any kind of different approach, anything that you do?
No, we played there a few years ago. You really can't. You just can't change up every week. We play at 7:30. Kicks out at 7:36, just like it was this last week. We're in the same time zone. The weather will be fine. It's not going to be hot like it was in Arizona, but it's not going to be raining and cold or snowy or sleet or anything like that. So, you just continue to, emphasize the things that'll help you win. The things that have won for you over the years.
Colton's still got that. I just saw him. He's got it looks like a hard cast. Is there? You said you would say if there was like a pretty obvious injury. Is there a season-long issue with him where we might not see him again this season?
No, you'll see him again this season.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see him again this season. It's just a matter of when. I think it's a pain thing. So, and he's a tough kid, and he wants to be back out there. But if it was season-ending, I'd tell you it's not.
The offensive line, I think, has given up more sacks than last year already.
Yeah.
How do you kind of get back?
Yeah, you're right. Last year we only gave up 10 on the whole year, and we've given up 15 this year. But once again, I don't want to just pin it on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when you do that, it's not necessarily accurate or fair. I think that sometimes it's a back not picking up the right guy. Sometimes it's a receiver not running the right route, and so the quarterback has to hold it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
Sometimes it's the quarterback not getting a good read and not delivering the ball on time and holding it too long.
Mm-hmm.
So. It's all of those things, and we've got to get better, and we've got to regain our mojo and our confidence, and that's hard to do. If we came out of spring and out of camp, and I felt great about the run game. And after first couple games, I felt like we could really run the ball, and then BYU got after us pretty good, and we've kind of our confidence is a little bit shaky. So. We've got to find a way. It's hard. You've got to find a way to be critical, and self-critique, and demanding and honest with yourself, and at the same time, you've got to find a way to build confidence back, and that's that's tricky. So you got to have some success. You got to try to create some success.
What do you think of Andre James in Colton's place?
I thought he did a nice job. I think he brings a level of physicality that we like. I thought that for his first start, he did a nice job. Not perfect, but there was no one on that field on either side that was perfect the other night. So, but I love his effort. I love his attitude, and I think he's just going to keep getting better. If he gets reps, and whether Colton's playing or not, we try to give him reps in that our bigger package.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Okay?
Thanks.
All right. Have a good day.